All right, we're here with Legend Suspension at the NVP Product Expo. I'm with Chase, and Chase is going to talk to us about kind of how the beginnings of Legend are, where they are, and what they do, and why you should be buying Legend suspension. Chase, thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, Tim, pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for stopping
by.
So, Legend was established in 1998. Our first bread and butter stuff Jesse invented was air suspension for motorcycles. So that's longest running product line that we've got. And kind of touching on that, I mean, it was a real humble beginning in South Dakota. Jesse's from Watertown. It stayed there for a bit, and then it has moved over to the west side of the state. We're now located in Sturgis, South Dakota. So we're keeping everything 100% American made, American assembled, true to the roots. Everything is done, you know, as close to home as possible. We can really control the quality that way.
Nice. So here's the big question. Why would somebody need or want Legend suspension?
Sure.
They definitely need it.
Yeah.
I know that.
So we get asked that a lot. It's becoming less of a secret that stock Harleys don't ride great, and we have more and more customers that are figuring out that there is a vast aftermarket world of customization. So why pick Legend suspensions? We've got a couple of things that I think really sets us, you know, on the top shelf when it comes to suspension for your bike, and one of those is we offer a lifetime warranty. That covers rebuilds, so that's a huge deal. You're spending a good amount of money on suspension. So on top of comfort, on top of performance, you're getting something that is fully serviceable, fully rebuildable. We're an established company that's been around for quite a while and plan to not go anywhere.
Right.
So when you invest in something like good suspension, you want that company to be around. You don't want that to be a disposable product. There's enough things in this world that brake calipers now, you know, are a disposable thing. So to be able to take your shocks, send them into us, get them fully rebuilt. One thing that's nice is with any of our product lines, they never stay stagnant. We're constantly improving these different product lines. So whether it's a bump stop or a shim, if you send your shocks in 2-3 years down the road, we're automatically putting as many of those updates onto your product as we can.
Right.
So the product that you bought 2 years ago, not only are you going to get a freshened up, better product, you're going to get back something that has all the new updates on it as well. So you're getting a better shock back than what you originally even paid for.
Right.
They're bike transferable for a lot of these options. You know, the fitment for touring models are 99 to current right now. So
Exactly.
you know, you've got an 09 touring bike and you fall in love with a 2022 paint job, you take that shock off that bike, you put it right onto your new bike, and you take those stock ones off that really
Put them on the
are
one that's going to sell to somebody else.
Exactly. You send that off to somebody else who can find us later, and you don't lose your investment. So that's a huge deal. We've got several things that we do specifically. Legend Suspensions makes motorcycle suspension.
Right.
So we didn't have something that fit a trophy truck or a side-by-side or a dirt bike or a race car and go, we could change a couple of things here and put them on a Harley.
Right.
We took the Harley ground up and designed all of this stuff specifically for Harleys to make them ride the best that they possibly can. Everything was taken into account, from spherical bearings at the mount point so your shocks can pivot. That eliminates suspension bind. That's a huge deal. Our spring rates, our spring lengths, the materials that we use is stuff that we feel makes the most premium suspension and are things that you really want to have on your bike to give you the optimal ride. So,
well, and as we talk about it in the store, when we talk to our customers about Legend suspension, is my 2 words are game changer. Really.
Absolutely.
Compared to stock, this is something that's really going to improve your ride so much that you would never ever have anything else.
Right. It's become kind of our unofficial motto, is anything else is a compromise and it's a game changer, and that's really what customers come back and they're just like, you have changed the way that we ride motorcycles now. Most stock suspension is really set to handle anything to the max GVW of that bike, the max weight that can go on that bike.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm 6'5", about 250, 255, and I don't get the appropriate suspension sag out of stock suspension. So a lot of 2-up couples, a lot of solo riders are really getting an oversprung suspension that's giving you a terrible ride. You can't set the sag your wheel's not moving up and down correctly, and you're doing that on a really heavy bike with a short amount of travel, it really makes for an uncomfortable ride. So with this suspension, all of them are going to have preload adjustability on the springs or even on our air suspension, where you're going to air up a shock. Right. You're going to set that sag to a target range, tell that suspension how much weight are you putting on here so that we can move correctly, use all that travel and keep you from bottoming out. And then you've got various adjustments, your compressions and rebounds and things like that, that are controlling characteristics of that shock to your specific preference, whether you're solo, two up, with a trailer, without a trailer. You know, there's all kinds of different options out there.
The options for riders of basically all models of Harley are really refined.
Yeah, Sportsters, Dynas, FXRs, Softails, touring models, Tri-Glides are a huge one. Tri-Glides notoriously don't ride well, and we've got everything from lift brackets that help fix factory geometry and get that saggy rear section of the Tri-Glide back up to where weight's more evenly transferred over your suspension. Rear shocks, we have air suspension, coil suspension, we've got full cartridge drop-in systems for just about everything. These are preload adjustable for your weight as well. We've got several different spring rates that will accommodate a vast amount of our riders. So, I mean, really, no matter what, you know, touring bike you have or V-twin bike you've got, we've really got something that makes that ride really darn comfortable.
And you guys have great resources on how to do certain things, set sag, and figure everything out. I mean, I see you doing your stuff on Instagram and that. You get into depth and you talk about your products and you show people how they can set it up and how do they make it work for them.
Yeah, so we really set out because we kind of noticed there's tons of people that can build horsepower. There's tons of people that know all these different aspects. And what we kind of see is when it comes to suspension, the knowledge just kind of goes flat. And people, well, I never really kind of just decided to learn about suspension. So we've taken a lot of those things that really feel complicated to some people and tried to make them easier, either with a technical video on one specific thing like rebound. This is the way you turn the dial if you want this to happen. If you're feeling this, turn it that way. So, you know, even our preload adjustability on these shocks, we've made tool-free adjustment.
Yes.
So when it's on the bike, you're just grabbing the spring and turning it. We use a square thread so it stays where it's supposed to be. So you don't even have to carry a spanner wrench in the saddlebags anymore. You know, now you can just grab that, make your adjustments. You can quickly adjust for solo or two-up riding. It's even easier if you've got air suspension, you're pushing a button. You know, with all of these products, there's a lot of misconception of somebody may see this item here and say, well, I don't race, I don't want that shock. You know, I want something that's just, I'm comfortable cruising. Every shock that we offer, you get the correct spring rate and it will go softer or firmer than anybody would want. And somewhere in the middle is your happy medium. This shock just offers a little bit more adjustment range if that's what somebody is looking for. A lot of customers go, hey, give me all the dials, give me all the tinkering. I want to play with all that stuff.
Bells and whistles. Exactly.
You're a great candidate for something like a revo-arc. You want some adjustment, but you really just want to kind of set it and forget it and be comfortable. The Revo A is going to be a great option for you. We also have, you know, a fixed model of this that's always on setting 3 out of that 1 through 6 that just fix my bike. I don't want to touch anything after that. So we've got something in a lot of different price ranges with a lot of different varying features to make sure that you're being accommodated the best way that you can. You know, we're never the ones that are trying to push you to a shock that's more than what you need. We care a lot more about someone coming back and say, that was perfect for me. You guys really changed it. So.
Right on. We're a proud dealer of Legend Suspension in Canada at Conquer Motorcycles. Give us the website.
Legendsuspensions.com would be where you'd want to go. You could also check, of course, with them. We really, really support local dealers. So the brick and mortar shops, I mean, that is what we are. You know, we're American based and we really like to have people go to their local shops. You know, go to them and get the product. Yeah. If you want some technical information or things like that, we do have a lot of that listed at legendsuspensions.com. We have a bunch of YouTube videos. You can always check that out as well. We've tried to break those segments up. I don't even like to say the C word, COVID, but with not being able to travel the last 2 years, it really slowed down some of that getting into shops, talking to people, doing open houses. And that's kind of where that tech series came from, was let's take all these things that customers and shops commonly ask us, and let's make these individual videos so that they can just sit on their couch at home, learn about suspension, and you're really getting a pretty healthy leg up on how this stuff works, how the adjustments work, instead of getting something and going, I don't really understand the instructions or the way this works. Now you can sit and watch a video and you can kind of become an expert at home on it.
And then go see your dealer and make your purchase.
Exactly.
Chase, thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
If you want Legend suspension, you know where to go, Conquer Motorcycles. And we got great support from Legend. Lifetime warranty, that is unheard of in the industry, really.
Yeah, we try and make that suspension as absolutely, as bulletproof as possible, as strong as possible, with the absolute best materials we can get our hands on. And we are building the suspension by hand. And we hope you don't ever have a problem, but we also back that up.
Exactly.
We say what we're gonna do and we do it, and that lifetime warranty comes in handy. Things they don't last forever. One of the beauties of this world is buying something of good enough quality that it can be serviced and it can be rebuilt and you can get it back as good as new. So
thanks again for your time, and thanks to Legend Suspension. If you need more info, contact Conquer Motorcycles. I'm having a good day, I guess. Thanks, Chase.
It's the end of the week.
It is the end of the week. We're having a good day here at the NVP Product Expo.